Welcome to Hamilton Crescent in Glasgow. It's the home of the West of Scotland Cricket Club, but this picturesque little cricket ground also has a permanent place in football history, as it was the location for the first ever international match on the 30th of November 1872. That game was played between, you guessed it, England and Scotland, with 4,000 fans paying the princely sum of 1 shilling each to watch. The game finished 0-0, but the footballing rivalry that began that day was to live far longer in the memory. It wasn't until 1884 that the International Football Association agreed on a uniform set of rules that would lead to a tournament between the 4 British sides and the formation of the Home Championships. It was the world's first international football tournament and would run for the next century. While Wales and Ireland were by no means making up the numbers, the main attraction was usually the clashes between the old enemies of England and Scotland, and the excitement, the drama and even the controversy that frequently ensued. Going into the final match of the 74-75 Home Championship between England and Scotland, the destination of the Winners' Trophy was still right in the balance. Scotland led the way and needed just a point to secure their first outright championship since 1967, while a victory would catapult England to first. The game was at Wembley, but with tens of thousands of raucous Scottish fans in attendance, it was almost like an away game for the English. The Scottish team needed every one of their fans behind them after a dismal recent record against England, just 1 win in their last 8 meetings. But the Scots had a player who could put an end to that poor run. Celtic's Kenny Dalglish, who seemed fond of the number 7. He'd won 7 trophies in 7 seasons at Parkhead and scored 7 goals since his Scotland debut in 1971. But the burden of scoring goals was shared with an unlikely source. The Norwich striker Ted McDougall had only made his Scotland debut the previous month, but had scored 2 goals in 4 games prior to his side's trip to Wembley. As for the home side, their strikers were also a mix of the familiar and a new face. Liverpool striker Kevin Keegan may have ended the season trophyless, but he'd scored a creditable 10 goals to become his side's second highest goal scorer that season. But David Johnson was the form player going into this match. In making his debut against Wales just 3 days prior to the game, he'd netted both goals in a 2-2 draw. With 2 sets of strikers bang in form, it was a game that promised goals. Let's join the match with your commentator David Coleman at Wembley.
I've covered sporting events all over the world, Olympic Games, World Cups, Commonwealth Championships, European Championships, but rarely has one tasted an atmosphere like this. Sandy Jardine leading the side out, followed by goalkeeper Stuart Kennedy. And England coming towards the goal, behind which the Scottish supporters are in enormous strength. Clements, Liverpool in goal, Whitworth, Leicester City number 2, Beattie, Ipswich number 3, Bell, Manchester City number 4, Watson, Sunderland number 5, Todd of Derby County number 6, Ball, Arsenal, the captain number 7, Mike Shannon of Southampton number 8, David Johnson, Ipswich number 9, Jerry Francis of Queen's Park Rangers 10, and Kevin Keegan of Liverpool number 11. Keegan, after his run away in midweek, back in favour with the England team manager, very much so, and I think it was always Don Reevy's intention just to rest Keegan for the 1 match and to bring him back for this, the match of the championship, the match in which the championship will be decided. Well, now the Scottish side, Kennedy from Rangers in goal, Jardine of Rangers the captain number 2, McGrain of Celtic, Monroe of Wolves, McQueen of Leeds, Rioch Derby County, Dalglish of Celtic, Conn of Spurs, Parlane of Rangers, McDougall of Norwich City and Duncan of Hibernian. That's the flyer from Hibernian, Arthur Duncan, one of the quickest men in Scottish football. Francis Monroe from Wolves, who did such a solid job for Scotland when he came in the middle of the back row as the support player to Gordon McQueen. And so the referee, Rudy Glockner, blows his whistle to bring the captains together. Alan Ball and Sandy Jardine, who emerged as a world-class player during the World Cup finals in West Germany. Ball's choice. We'll turn round, it looked like, which means, yes it is, the sides will turn round, so England will be playing from right to left. And so it will be Scotland to kick off in what really, incredibly enough, in a home match is a test of nerve for the English, because there must be 60 or 70,000 Scottish supporters in the ground, and certainly they're making the noise. Was Dalglish to Rioch, bundled off it and fouled by Francis. Rioch leaving the kick for Monroe. Big Gordon McQueen's just been directed forward, and he's signalling, and it's pumped towards him, and he didn't get there. Beaten in the air by Watson. Bell under pressure from Kahn, and the whistle's gone. Colin Bell and Alfie Kahn. In the foreground, Bruce Rioch. Woodruff. Ball couldn't get to that. Farley. Now Dalglish. Duncan. Whitworth in fast. McGrain for Scotland. McQueen looks to the number 2, Jardine, his captain. Francis held him. Kick quickly taken. Rioch for Scotland. Jardine. Dalglish by BT. This is Ball, the England captain. Keegan. Rioch fleecing him. Keegan's got no short support, but now Francis has arrived. He ignored him. Johnson. It's Jardine. Kennedy to McGrain. Monroe. Took his time, only found Watson. Watson, who's been so dependable in the last few matches for England. That's Kahn. Duncan rather than McDougall. Did well to get the cross in. Pauline! And the England defence unsteady for a moment. That's Beattie. Jardine. Flag up for offside. England not convincing momentarily then when they were under pressure. Kenny Dalglish. Waving Watson away. Very high kick. Shannon beaten by Monroe. Now Ball. This is Francis. Shannon. Good play by Shannon, but the last tackle was powerful enough, and a free kick given to England in a dangerous position. It's indirect, and about 10 yards outside the penalty area. And the wall being waved back, the kick can't be taken. They've got 3 in the wall. Referee's satisfied. Beattie. Well blocked by Rioch. Todd. And at this early stage, the message is very simple, and it is keep it simple. Johnson. Francis, well played to Shannon. Francis. He loves... It's there! He loves that! disgusting. He never even moved. Francis loves this situation, and he's just the man to have a pop, and they allowed him the space and the time, and Kennedy was just left hopelessly misplaced. He never even took off. 1-0 after 5 minutes. Real blow to Scotland. McGrain. Rioch. Khan and Bell, and the whistle's gone. But don't forget, of course, Scotland were 2-0 down last Saturday against Wales and fought back to draw. McGrain for Scotland. Watson. A good distance. Johnson. That's McQueen. Bell. McGrain now. Watson. He's given it away, Dalglish. Neat ball play. And fouled by Francis. About 3-4 yards outside the penalty area. Ray Clements. 2 in the wall ignored. Now Cobb. Ball. Francis to Ball. Francis again. Ball. Good ball too to Keegan. The only support is now arriving. It's Shannon late and Beattie. And again, 2-0. And what a start for this goalkeeper, Stuart Kennedy. 2 in 2 minutes, and again he was left grasping the air. Keegan, a good break from Ball's through ball. It was a very nice pass from Ball. Keegan looked up, arriving with Shannon, and also there was Beattie, and Beattie so good in the air, and Kennedy must have lost his geography surely, because he should have had that beyond doubt. Don Revie, well, he's waiting to produce a side. Look at Willie Ormond reacting. Kevin Beattie so powerful in the air, both in defence and attack. Cobb. Jardine. Monroe. So McGrain. But Duncan wants it. Finally broke for Whitworth. Francis. He's made a fine start to this game. Involved in both defence and attack. He'd rather let himself down then, and McDougall was offside. It's a ball for England. Beattie. It's Keegan. Foul. Beattie wants to take the kick. Francis is short. Number 10. To Ball. Shannon. Foul by Shannon. Long kick by Kennedy. Watson. Ball. So he set it up for Rioch. Oh, and Todd was in hard against his Derby County teammate who caught him in the face. Apologies all round. Todd penalised. It's Duncan. Hands, but accidental. And it would have been a harsh decision indeed if Rudy Glockner had given it. But it's certainly hands, and interesting possibly to see that again. It was certainly inside the penalty area, and there is an injury, so we're not missing anything. And the referee ruled that Colin Bell couldn't get out of the way. Looked a little bit more suspicious on the replay than it did at the time, And as the England centre-back Colin Todd is getting treatment, here now Jimmy Hill.
Well, on that incident, David, I think that a professional player can sometimes get out of the way when a ball struck at him from 3 or 4 yards. And Colin Bell then was, I reckon, about 10, 12 yards away from that ball when he was struck. And I would say he played that ball with his hand. But here it is again. You see the distance from where it was, and he's leaning to his right, not to his left away from it. I think he went to chest it, found he couldn't do it, and then put his hand there. But those are decisions. The referee's the only one that can be right. He sees it as he wants.
So Scotland perhaps could be counted a bit unlucky there, and it's now the Scottish throw. Goal kick. Ray Clements has been very composed with everything he's done so far, taking his time. Good job by Keegan. Con for Scotland. Jardine. McDougall. And ball penalised. Jardine to Dalglish. Todd, very easy for him. Francis, number 3, Beattie. Shannon, couldn't direct it. Rioch for Scotland. McDougall, turning Todd. Good play by McDougall, that's Pauline, and Bell settles for safety. McDougall then left Todd, and very few players can do that. It was a good turn there, and he left Todd and got the cross in so effectively. Dalglish for Scotland. Foul. Dalglish. Beattie. McQueen. McGrain. Pauline. McDougall, number 8, Con, and he missed his kick entirely, but England were pulled around then, and that was the most promising move by Scotland so far. Another big kick by Clements, but it's made for McQueen. Duncan. Bell for England. McGrain. Looking to Kennedy, but the way was cut off. That's Monroe to McGrain. Neatly out of trouble. Dalglish. He's got Pauline loose here, number 9. So unlucky. The drive was fast enough to beat the goalkeeper, but it struck the post. Tremendous move by Scotland. Dalglish going at the defender. Pauline drifted wide, and it beat Clements just off the outside of the post. Dalglish, who created it all. Pauline will reflect on that for a long time. So close. McDougall. And the signs are at the moment that England really needed the start they got. Scotland growing in confidence and attacking more. McQueen. Beattie just got the touch, that's Dalglish, and the covering player Francis for a corner. Big Gordon McQueen just walking up. He's the danger man in the air with Pauline. And they put Francis Monroe right on the goal line. Dalglish for the corner. Didn't carry. McQueen. Con. This is developing into a tremendous match. England so much on top to start with. Scotland coming right back. Monroe. McQueen. Duncan. McDougall. Duncan. McGrain. That was Whitworth. McGrain. Khan. Nice feint. Number 6, Rioch. On that favourite left foot. Willie Ormond must be more satisfied now after that disastrous start. Scotland producing moves that are causing trouble. Rioch, Duncan. Shannon for England. On for Keegan. McQueen so powerful. Alan Ball calling somebody to come short to him, presumably. Still beckoning, it's Shannon he was waving at, but now that's Keegan. The Scottish revival heralded by singing all round the ground. Watson. McQueen. Jardine. Watson. Dalglish. Bell. Jardine. McGrain. To Duncan. Whitworth sticking to him. Lost him this time. Parlane. Number 9, Johnson, the striker back in defence. Keegan. For a little man, he gets enormous height. It's McQueen. McQueen, who's developed into such a fine player, and Leeds United will surely miss him in the final of the European Cup against Bayern Munich on Wednesday. Monroe. McQueen, who's suspended from that match. Beattie. Rioch. Dalglish and Rioch. Some holding, was there? The referee didn't think so. Jardine. It's Todd. Ball. Johnson. Checking up on the supporting players. Shannon's up there. Shannon, but it all got too tight and too close. Watson. Ball. Watson again. Bell. Francis. Beattie. Francis again. Shannon. Keegan, series of 1-2s, Bell. 3-0. Again the ball to the goalkeeper's right. Don Revie out to celebrate. 3-0 with 5 minutes left to half-time, and Kennedy has missed out on his right hand 3 times in succession. The ball broke slightly after that wonderful series of 1-2s for Colin Bell, and when he got the chance, again the goalkeeper couldn't reach it with his right hand. Francis started that, was in the move most of the way, but the England build-up was neat, followed a pattern. Finally the ball breaking for Bell, but when he hit it, he really hit it well. Number 8, Con for Scotland. Watson missing out, McDougall. Appeal for hands, is he given a penalty? Yes! Now what was that given for? Was it hands? Watson missing out with that right foot. McDougall turns. And it looked like hands. And it's Bruce Rioch with the kick. Jerry Francis talking to Ray Clements. So presumably they're discussing which way Rioch is likely to put it. But surely the man who'll know most of all about Rioch would be Colin Todd, his Derby County clubmate. Rioch with the penalty. So composed, he's had time to stop and think about it. The pause and then the ball beautifully placed where Clements hadn't got a hook. 3-1. So again we've had a burst of 2 goals in 2 minutes. Bell for England. Hall. Beattie. Dalglish. And a corner. Keegan will take the corner. Big David Watson gone deep. McQueen. Haldane, now Bell. Got out of trouble reasonably well. Very well, in fact. Francis. Bell. Ricocheted away. Dalglish. To Duncan. 2 minutes to half-time. 3-1 to England. Francis for England. Shannon and McQueen. Duncan. Rioch. Number 4, Monroe. Jardine. Conn. Dalglish and ball. Dalglish good enough. Number 10, McDougall. And covering play at his best by Beattie. Quick to turn and quick to get in the tackle. Dalglish will take the corner. McQueen so dangerous in the air, waiting outside the box. That was Clements. Conn to Rioch. Dalglish out there by himself. Todd. Jardine. This match, full of movement, really alive. Dalglish got it. Beattie. Ball. Whitworth. Shannon. Conn. McGrain who made it possible, and the whistle's gone. And that is the half-time whistle, in fact, and Don Revie racing down the track to get to the dressing room. He's broken into a trot to be there to greet the side as they come off. England leading Scotland by 3-1, and that a really memorable first half. Played in tremendous spirit, in fact. It's been hard, nobody's given anything away. But England have really punished Scotland when they've had the chance. Colin Todd, David Watson and Kevin Beattie who got the second goal. Haldane and Duncan. Colin Bell going through. Kenny Dalglish. Kevin Keegan. Jerry Francis in the background, Alfie Conn, who showed some nice touches. and Gordon McQueen. Willie Ormond having a word with Kennedy, and that's where the inquest really starts, because obviously Stuart Kennedy had a disastrous start, and all 3 goals have been scored to his right. Francis, the man who's done so much for England in that first 45 minutes. Ball. Francis, and he's got space for another shot. Francis, who could become the new Bobby Charlton with this sort of shooting. Harlane, good back header. McDougall. Todd. Oh. Quickly across Duncan. And again Scotland can say they were unlucky. And Colin Todd, usually so immaculate, has been in trouble several times in this game. He never saw Duncan, and Duncan really had got a terrible angle to squeeze it in from, and was unlucky enough to see it hit post and side netting. Shannon. McGrain was first. And the Scots are going to make a substitution. It looks like Tommy Hutchison getting ready. Rioch. Harlane beaten by Watson. Johnson. Number 10, Francis. He really has enjoyed himself. Ball. Beattie. Francis again. McQueen and McQueen again. Just suddenly realised what he'd done. It's a corner, in fact. Momentary mental blackout. And the substitution to take place. Who's coming off for Scotland? And it's Duncan, I think, yes, to be replaced by another flank player in Tommy Hutchison. Tommy Hutchison from Coventry, who was in the World Cup squad with Scotland in West Germany. So a corner to England taken by Keegan. Johnson. Goal kick. Good kick by Kennedy. Won by McDougall, now ball. Rick. McGrain. Hutchison. Well, Hutchison hasn't found his touch at all in this match. Keegan, he hasn't been on long, but he's clearly finding it difficult. Hutchison back to the rescue, but he's given away a free kick. The way Hutchison has started emphasises how difficult it is to come in to a match at this level and at this pace and find your touch straight away. Watson right on the edge of the 18-yard box, wide. Referee insisting that the ball is in the right place. Queen and Johnson together, and a consultation between the England players. Well, that was different, and it's got to be taken again. That might have been lucky to give Francis a chance to hit it, and again. Deflected, and it's there. Just cannot believe his luck. Nothing is going right for the goalkeeper at all. Francis is second. This was telegraphed because they rehearsed it really once and the referee stopped it. But the goalkeeper was unlucky because it was deflected by a Scottish player. And poor Kennedy must wonder what he's done to deserve this. Two for Francis, 4 for England. 64 minutes gone. That's Francis Monroe. I think the ball just touched him in flight when Francis scored then to beat the goalkeeper. Number 11, Keegan. On is broken down. Con. He's going it alone. Keegan. Finally too many for him. He got support with McDougall. Flags up. Ball out of play and a chance for McCarry to come on to replace Ted McDougall, is it? So McDougall leaves. Is it? Looks if Ronnie McKenzie's sent him back. No, McDougall goes and McCarry comes on. McCarry of Manchester United. "20 minutes to go. It's Monroe. Jardine. Dalglish. Jardine up on the right. Good running by the fullback. And brilliant handling by Clements. But Jardine made all that, played the ball and went to create the position for the cross. Shannon, McGrain, Johnson, Whitworth, number 6, Todd, Francis. Beattie. Shannon. Beattie nearly got away with it. In fact, he has. Shannon. Hutchison. Con. Ball beaten by Con. So much ball playing ability. McGrain. Dalglish, rear for the forward run if he plays it. What a saving tackle there by this man, the inevitable Francis. And he was the last man then. Shannon, foul by Jardine. Beattie being called forward to take the kick, is it? No, it's Francis taking it. Keegan. Number 7 ball. Keegan. It's Monroe. Beattie. Todd. Number 2, Whitworth. Shannon. Again fouled. Shannon's running has been so strong today. He's used the width of the pitch. He's really tearing across. First one side, then the other. Significant, he's just been fouled. First on the far side of the box and then again on this. Ball with a kick. Good chip. And he almost ran his way through. And Watson in the post. And finally, number 9, Johnson. 5-1 for England. An incredible series of deflections from post and crossbar. That was Keegan. The goalkeeper didn't get it. It came off the bar. Watson hit the post. And finally, the man who put it away was Johnson. England 5, Scotland 1. Still the instructions going out from the England bench, and it looks as if they're saying, keep at it, keep pushing forward. Con to number 9, Parley. That's Beattie. Shannon offside. The goals for England: Francis 2, Beattie, Bell, and Johnson's goal hasn't gone up yet. For Scotland, Rioch with a penalty. 5-1 to England. Parley, and still these fervent Scottish supporters. Good what presumably will be defeat, still trying to support the side. That's Johnson. Shannon. He mishit it and cleared by McGrain, but the Scottish defence was in tatters. Khan. Good ball to number 6, Rioch. Dalglish. Or Jardine, sorry. Now Francis. Just concentration going there because of the substitute coming on for England. David Thomas for these last few minutes. And Kevin Keegan leaves the field. He looks as if he's hobbling slightly, and he deserves the congratulation of his manager. Keegan not on the score sheet, but has been very effective for England. Khan's touch was just enough. Hutchison. To Rioch. Hutchison. Dalglish. Bent it back well. Thomas for England. Alan Ball. Thomas. Good tackle by McGrain. Number 16, Macari. Hutchison. The two Scottish subs really have made very little impact so far, Macari and Hutchison. It's Whitworth. It's Khan. Rioch. Hutchison. Number 3, McGrain. Hutchison. The shot was splendid and the save superb. Hutchison had that arrowed for the top corner. Beautifully struck and wonderfully well saved by Clement. 5-1 to England. Dalglish with the corner for Scotland. McQueen. Bell for England. Munro and Johnson. Number 16, Thomas. Ball. Number 9, Johnson. Thomas. Ball. Thomas again. Johnson. Really trying to give Scotland the runaround. Ball. Bell with space. Got a corner. And McQueen's got crap, and the whistle's gone anyway as McQueen goes down, and Don Revie walks out to acknowledge a famous victory for England. 5-1, and the spectators have burst on the field, a few youngsters, but the bulk have been held back. Don Revie congratulating his players, going round the side and waving them off, and Don Revie has produced a side when it's mattered most to win the International Championship. England have been criticised under Sir Alf Ramsey and again under Don Revie, who stressed the problem about their finishing. But today, pretty well all they've thrown at Scotland has gone in.
What a performance from England, scoring 5 goals against the Scots for the 9th time in their history and securing the home championship in the process. As for McDougall and Dalglish, well, they experienced contrasting fortunes in the years that followed. McDougall played just 2 more times for Scotland, and after 7 appearances and 3 goals between April and May 1975, he never wore the national shirt again. Dalglish, however, ultimately became the first man to win 100 caps for Scotland, and with 30 goals, he holds the scoring record for his country, jointly with Denis Law. So the final table looked like this. That humiliating defeat for Scotland meant that England claimed their 3rd championship in a row, and bragging rights for another season. Don't forget you can watch more classic England-Scotland matchups right here on Vision Sport, including games from the home championship in 77, 81 and 83. But in 1975, the home championship belonged to England. See you next time.